Let's turn our attention to sanctuary cities that exist across the state of Texas. They're ordinances that essentially outlaw abortion. To be clear, those ordinances cannot be enforced because they can't supersede federal law. And the people behind those ordinances know that. But with Texas's strict new abortion law still standing, they're hoping that Roe versus Wade eventually gets overturned. Big Spring is one of those sanctuary cities, and now Abilene is looking to join them. Over the weekend, the mayors of Odessa and Big Spring went to Abilene to try to convince people to support it. News West 9's Francisco Soto spoke with both mayors about their efforts.
Good evening, Crystal, and both mayors are in full support of Abilene becoming a sanctuary city for the unborn. Big Spring outlawed abortion in January of 2020, and people in Odessa, including the mayor, have tried to outlaw abortion in the past.
Their city council hasn't considered the question. And so now their citizens are circulating petitions under their charter right of initiative and referendum to have it placed on the ballot for an election. Very similar to what happened in Lubbock.
That was not the case in Big Spring.
It happened during my term. The background to it is local residents approached the council about it. In November of 19, the council considered it in December of 19, in January of 20, and passed it at our second meeting.
And as for Odessa, the ordinance has not passed.
I believe it was either late September or in October. I did ask for a consensus and a vote at a work session to place on the agenda for consideration for the council to vote in favor or against of calling an election, which would have been this year in May, of putting it on the ballot for Odessans to consider. And so it was voted down through the 43.
That is why they are showing support for those in Abilene trying to pass the ordinance citywide.
Just recommendations and advice from, on my part, from having been there and done that, what issues we've seen in the aftermath, which there haven't been many. Because they had questions, and during their efforts, and during the last days of that effort, they have to make a decision whether they're going to achieve the signatures or not. They have enough signatures to call for an election in May or push it down further down the line.
And Mayor Hoban says there's no immediate plans to bring this idea back to a city council work session. In Odessa, I'm Francisco Soto.